Empire Architects. This is the story of Amancio Ortega. A teenage shop assistant from Galicia built a clothing empire that could design, cut, and deliver a new garment to stores in a matter of weeks. The defining move was not a celebrity designer or an advertising blitz. It was a quiet decision to put factories and logistics close to the customer, listen to stores every day, and refresh inventory faster than fashion could become stale. That proximity speed loop turned Zara into a global engine and made Inditex a benchmark for modern retail. Amancio Ortega Gauna was born in 1936 in northwest Spain. Public biographies describe a modest family and a father who worked on the railways. He left school young and learned clothing from the ground up. He worked as a delivery boy for a shirt maker in A Coruña. He watched how patterns were cut. He watched how customers touched fabric and decided fast. He learned that margin was made or lost in the small frictions between design and the rack. By the 1960s he began organizing small workshops that could produce lingerie and dressing gowns for local stores. The method was simple. Get closer to the final buyer. Remove steps that slow the flow. Sell what moves and stop what does not. In 1975 he opened a small shop with his then partner Rosalia Mera on a street in A Coruña. The name was Zara. It sold affordable fashion that looked current without asking customers to wait for the next season. The early stores taught him two things. First, customers respond to novelty they can touch today. Second, the store floor is a real-time data feed. Most apparel companies worked on a long seasonal calendar. They placed big bets months ahead and then defended those bets with advertising. Ortega saw a different math. If the company could shorten the calendar and make small batches quickly, the store could tell the factory what to do next, not the other way around. He built the first pieces of a new operating system. In 1985 he founded Inditex as a holding structure for the expanding set of brands and operations. The goal was not to build a fashion house. It was to build a supply and demand loop that could compress time. He put cutting and sewing capacity near headquarters in Galicia and northern Portugal. He set up a design center in Artexo that would sit next to pattern cutting and fabric sourcing. He invested in a logistics hub that could push new product to stores twice a week. He trained store managers to send daily feedback. The loop began to spin. But that is not the full picture. The defining move was still forming. Ortega made a contrarian decision that went against mainstream retail at the time. Most global apparel brands sourced far away to chase lower labor costs. He kept a large share of production close to home. Company annual reports state that a significant portion of Inditex production is concentrated in proximity markets such as Spain, Portugal, Turkey, and Morocco, with the remainder in Asia for more stable basics. The reason was speed. A factory an hour from design can start a new cut today. A factory a month away by ship cannot. He also chose to treat the store as the center of truth. Store managers were given handheld tools and a mandate to report what customers asked for and what went unworn. That information flowed back to Artexo together with sales data. Designers and planners adjusted fast. New versions were cut in small batches and sent out on the next truck or flight. If a model stalled, it was killed before markdowns could scar margins. If a model spiked, capacity flexed to make more while the desire still burned. According to Harvard Business Review's coverage of Zara's operating model, the company built a rapid design-to-rack cycle measured in weeks rather than months. Company accounts describe shipments to stores several times a week from centralized distribution hubs. The approach reduced inventory exposure and turned novelty into a habit. Customers were trained to visit more often because there was always something new. First wins came fast. Zara opened stores across Spain, then Portugal and France. It entered New York in 1989 and Paris in 1990. It moved into Mexico in 1992. Inditex added new brands that spoke to different segments. Massimo Dutti addressed classic style. Pull & Bear and Bershka targeted youth. Stradivarius and Oysho found their lanes. Zara Home extended into interiors. The engine behind them was the same. Design, cut, distribute, learn, repeat. The validation was the numbers. Company annual reports state that Inditex listed on Spanish exchanges in 2001. Sales and profits expanded across the early 2000s as Zara and its sister brands opened hundreds of stores. According to Reuters and Bloomberg coverage over the years, the model scaled without heavy advertising because the stores did the work that ads used to do. Footfall rose because freshness rose. Here is what most people miss. The magic was not only fast fashion. It was degraded forecast risk. When the company makes smaller bets more often, it does not need to be right in June about what will sell in November. It can be right enough this week and improve on that next week. Forecasting becomes learning. Inventory becomes feedback. Pressure built with each country added. Logistics had to tighten. The loop had to stay short in a longer network. Inditex built out central platforms that kept control. Artexo remained a core for Zara. The Zaragoza hub served as a key platform for Europe. Dedicated centers served the Americas and Asia. The company installed systems to track units with radio frequency identification. According to Inditex, RFID was rolled out across Zara to locate stock in real time and to replenish faster. Every store became a node in a live network. What happened next surprised everyone. The empire scaled into a public company with a founder who stayed unseen. Ortega is famous for avoiding the stage. According to Forbes profiles, he built a fortune as Inditex grew and later became one of the richest individuals in the world, with net worth frequently among the top ranks. He rarely gives interviews. He did not become the face of the brand. The face was the store window that changed every few days. The company went global and professionalized. Executives who had grown up in the system took larger roles. A logistics mindset guided IT, design, and store operations. The Artexo campus became a symbol of integration. Designers could walk from a sketch to a sample floor in minutes. They could watch cut and sew lines adapt in hours. The team could decide a distribution plan while garments were still warm from pressing. The proximity loop moved ideas into hangars in a single breath. By the mid-2010s, Inditex had become the largest apparel retailer in the world by market value. Company annual reports state that Inditex reached thousands of stores across dozens of markets. The model kept working as online channels grew. The same loop served digital. New product dropped into the webshop and into the store on the same day. Online orders were fulfilled from stores as well as central hubs. Store inventory could ship to home and reduce stockouts. The system learned a new trick without losing its rhythm. But that is not the full picture. Ortega made a second quiet move that compounded the first. He turned dividends into prime buildings. Through his private holding Pontegadia, he allocated a large share of dividends into global commercial real estate. As reported by Bloomberg and Forbes, he has purchased landmark office and retail properties in cities like Madrid, Barcelona, London, New York, and Seattle. Public reports show that those assets include buildings leased by high-grade tenants. The logic is familiar. Turn cash generation from a fast retail loop into durable rent streams from core urban assets. Keep the operating company focused on fashion. Keep the private holding focused on steady property cash flows. Public filings show that Inditex pays out a large share of its earnings as dividends. As reported by Bloomberg in 2024, Ortega has received dividends in the order of about €3 billion a year in recent periods based on his majority stake. Those flows gave Pontegadia fuel to acquire prime properties. The portfolio became a passive backbone that did not depend on seasonal trends. It turned fashion volatility into city-grade stability. Then the global test arrived in 2020. Stores closed. Streets went empty. Governments restricted movement. Fashion retail faced the most severe shock in modern times. Inditex shut thousands of stores temporarily. Sales fell sharply in the first half of the year. The company responded by accelerating a plan to integrate stores and online more tightly. It announced investments in technology and logistics to turn every store into a click and collect and ship from store node. Company annual reports state that Inditex closed some smaller locations while opening larger flagship stores and expanded online to more than 200 markets. The loop adapted. The stakes were high. If the proximity system could not pivot to a world of fewer store visits, the model would stall. If the logistics could not support precise delivery windows at scale, the customer trust would fray. If the company missed a season entirely, cash would dry up across the network. Here is what most people miss. The proximity loop was never about footfall alone. It was about time to market. The same time advantage repaid in online. A design cut today and photographed tonight could be on the web tomorrow and delivered from a local store the next day. The same rhythm that refreshed Windows now refreshed feeds. Recovery followed. Company annual reports state that Inditex posted record results after the shock eased. According to Reuters and Bloomberg reporting, Inditex revenue reached roughly €35.9 billion in 2023 with net profit in the range of about €5.4 billion, an all-time high at the time. Online continued to account for a significant share. Physical stores rebalanced toward larger, more experiential flagships. The loop held. The empire is now a set of brands, a set of logistics hubs, and a habit in the customer base. Zara anchored it by mastering fast design to rack. Massimo Dutti speaks to classic. Pull and Bear and Bershka speak to youth. Stradivarius translates trend into immediate. Oysho and Zara Home extend into lifestyle. Company annual reports state that Inditex operates in more than 200 markets online and has a global network of several thousand stores. The exact count has adjusted lower from its peak as the company closed smaller units and invested in larger ones. The ore comes from the blunt metrics of time. Traditional apparel operated on a two-season calendar. Zara trained its system to operate on a 2-week calendar. Some lines move even faster. That is not a creative claim. That is a calendar. It turned risk into learning and fashion into logistics. Here is what most people miss. The model is not a blink of inspiration. It is a discipline of saying no to heavy advertising budgets. No to long purchase orders that lock designers for months. No to massive runs that demand clearance racks. The company spends a small percentage of sales on advertising relative to peers, according to industry analyses. It spends on systems, designers, and hubs. The glamour is the result. The inputs are trucks and cutters. Pressure never goes away. Supply chains face scrutiny on labor standards. According to company sustainability reports, Inditex has auditing programs and partnerships to monitor suppliers and improve compliance. Currency swings and energy prices hit margins. Weather can wreck a quarter. Digital platforms rewrite customer expectations. Competitors learned from the model and built their own speed loops. The loop must keep shortening to hold an edge. What happened next surprised everyone again. The founder became one of the largest private landlords in parts of Europe and America, while remaining a minority of public headlines. As reported by Bloomberg, Ortega's assets include major buildings in Madrid's financial district and trophy properties in London and New York. Public filings indicate that those assets generate stable rent from investment-grade tenants. The portfolio allows Ortega to diversify away from retail cycles while staying attached to the cities his brands inhabit. It is a quiet pattern. Turn a flow business into an asset base without mixing the two in a way that could distract operators. For viewers building their own empires, the decision at the core is simple and hard. Ortega chose proximity over pure cost. He chose to keep a large share of production within one truck ride of design. He chose to put store feedback above seasonal calendars. He chose to ship twice a week. He chose to cut what did not move. He chose to spend on logistics instead of on traditional advertising. He chose to turn dividends into real estate that pays while stores refresh windows. Why did it work? Because the economics of time beat the economics of distance for fashion. A basic t-shirt can sail across oceans. A trend can die at sea. The company paid more per unit for some garments made in Spain or Portugal. It saved more than that by not drowning in unsold stock and by moving capital faster. The store visit frequency was the compounding rate. Each new visit was another chance for a sale without buying another ad. The loop fed on itself. Why was it not luck? The model was tested in shop. It was rebuilt at scale. It was copied by rivals and still held an edge. It demanded capital in systems and hubs long before the benefits were obvious. Company annual reports state that Inditex invested billions over the years in logistics and technology, including RFID and integrated stock. The payoff was a customer habit and a machine that could learn every day. How does it apply now? The pattern holds anywhere demand is volatile and novelty matters. Control time. Build close to the decision. Integrate design and distribution physically. Keep batches small. Move more often. Let the store or the feed tell you what to do next. Measure in days. Use cash from the speed loop to buy assets that quiet the portfolio while operators keep the rhythm. There is a final reflection on identity and leadership. Ortega stayed out of the spotlight. He promoted from within. He kept the focus on execution. The Artexo campus is not a fashion museum. It is a factory of decisions every hour. The founder's public silence did not prevent him from shaping a culture that rewards speed, thrift, and precision. It allowed the work to speak. The end state feels simple. A store in Tokyo or Chicago receives 2 deliveries a week. A customer walks in and sees something new. A manager notes what moved in the first hours and sends that to Galicia. Designers adjust. The cutters move a little faster. The truck leaves. That is an empire. Not in marble. In loops. From a small shop in a Coruna to a global platform in more than 200 markets, the path runs through one decision. Put design next to making. Put making next to shipping. Put shipping on a clock. Put the clock in service of the customer. Then repeat without losing tempo. If you enjoyed learning about this empire builder's journey and you're interested in building your own empire, there's something you need to know. Amancio Ortega and 78% of the Forbes 400 use a specific strategy to build massive businesses and multiply their wealth systematically. But here is what most people miss: there is a pattern. A strategy hiding in plain sight. The Forbes 400 know it. They exploit it. They have built fortunes with it. And it has been hidden from mainstream business education for decades. First link in the description reveals what the titans of industry do not talk about publicly. Watch it next. 10 minutes that could change everything.